Hey guys, we're back. This is job 6 out of book number 2. This is the pictorial for it right here. And here's one that I'll show you guys. It's already been completed. And so what this is a time defrost clock. And so this time clock here is it's going to initiate our defrost, and it's going to terminate our defrost based solely upon time. So it's time initiated, it's time terminated, real simple. And so if you can see these 4 trippers right here, there's 2 right here, there's 2 right here. Well, let's back up even before that. There's an indicator arrow right here, and that is basically time of day for right now. So you would turn this counterclockwise and set it up for the time of day that it is right now. And then these 4 trippers here, this is going to tell it, hey, an event's taking place or whatever. We need to trip our contacts. And so we're going to have an event 4 times a day. We're going to go into defrost 4 times a day. And then looking at the middle right here, there's this small indicator, and we can push it down and move it around. And we look at the inner dial, and it goes from 0 to 110 minutes. And so this particular one is set right here on 40 minutes. And so basically what's going to happen is 4 times a day, this is a 24-hour timer, so 4 hours a day, 4 times a day, we're going to go into a defrost for 40 minutes. So it's going to go in for 40 minutes, and then it's going to go right back out after 40 minutes, and it's going to go right back to refrigeration mode. So here's what we're going to do on this. On that particular job, we don't have a wiring diagram. We're going to have to ohm this thing out. It's got 5 terminals on it, and so I'm going to, these terminals right here belong to this time clock right here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and ohm out every single possible combination. I've already got my chart drawn out here. And so I've got my normal operation, and so I've got all my terminals here. I just called them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna ohm out from 1 to 2, or 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, and keep going in normal operation. And then we're gonna roll this thing into a defrost, have the contacts trip, and we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna mark them right here. And to advance this timer, all you do is you grab the center knob. All you do is you grab the center knob, and again, just turn it counterclockwise. And hopefully you guys can hear this when this indicator right here of what time of day it is actually comes past one of these trippers. You'll actually hear it mechanically trip its contacts in there. Here we go. Boom. That big old kadunk, it switched its contacts right there. So we're going to ohm it out again in every single possible combination. So give me just a second, I'll get her ohmed out. Alright, so I've ohmed it out now, and basically if there's nothing there, it was infinite, or OL. So basically when I ohmed it out from 1 to 2, in the normal position it was infinite, OL, but in the defrost I actually read resistance. But looking down through here, there's some obvious things. Starting with 1 to 3, that's a straight contact. I had 0 ohms of resistance from 1 to 3 while it was in defrost mode. It was infinite while it was in normal operation. So that's definitely a normally open contact, and it's going to close during defrost. So I know I've got a normally closed contact from 1 to 3. And you keep looking down through here. These matching resistances right here, which between 2 and 3, we know our timer motor is right there. When you wire these up, we're going to put direct power to the timer motor. It has voltage to it, just 24/7. And so you start sketching this stuff out, and you say, okay, let's draw L1 over here, and we're going to take direct power to our timer motor. And I know that this is either 2 or 3, and I know this one's either 2 or 3. I don't know which one's which yet, but I know that the timer motor is between 2 and 3. And then I come back to my little chart over here, and I start looking at my contacts, And we can go ahead and write them out. We can put between 1 and 3 that we have a normally open contact. I can go ahead and draw that in there. I know between 2 and 3 I've got my timer motor. And I know between 2 and 4 I've got another normally open contact that only closes during defrost. So I've got another normally open here. And we're going to talk about these in a second, but we're basically just backfeeding through a contact and reading that timer motor. But and then from 3 to 5, this is my one and only contact for normal operation. So from 3 to 5, I've got a normally closed, and that's where I'm going to end up putting all my refrigeration stuff. So on my normally closed contact, that's where I want to put all my refrigeration. Once it rolls into that event, once it rolls into that defrost, it'll open that contact, it'll kill the refrigeration circuit, and we're going to close these, and we're going to bring on some defrost heaters that are actually embedded in the evaporator or something like that, maybe electric defrost, and we're going to thaw out the ice on the evaporator on this walk-in or whatever this is tied to. All right, so now let's start sketching this out. We got to find these contacts. I've got a set between 1 and 3, and I've got a set between 2 and 4, and I've got a set between 3 and 5. The common denominator between those 3 sets of contacts is going to be 3. So I've got a 3 here. This one didn't have one, but this one had a 3. So let's do something. Let's take and put 3 right there and make this timer motor on this side 2. And then we can start drawing our contacts in off of 3 right here. So here we go. Where did I say that was from 3 to 5 we got one. So let's go ahead and draw in 3 to 5. I've got a normally closed. There goes 5 right there. And then where's the other one? 1 to 3. So let's go 3 to 1. I've got a normally open. All right, so now from 3 to 5, if I were to ohm that out in normal operation, I would see 0 ohms of resistance, right? There's nothing in there, there's no load in there, there's nothing in there except for a power passing contact. So from 3 to 5 right here in normal operation, I've got 0 ohms of resistance, and it rolls into defrost, and it goes infinite, OL. And then the last one, the tricky one, this 2 to 4, we know that 2 is over here on this right side, and so this one's kind of tricky. It's going to go up and backwards, 2 to 4, like that. And so we're going to end up using this contact to break neutral on a load. And so if I wanted to put my defrost heaters in there, obviously here's one right here, the normally open, that closes during defrost. I could put a defrost heater out there. And then on this one, I would take L1 power directly to the heater, or directly to this particular job, ask for an indicator light to come on showing that it's in defrost. So I would just take L1 power directly to that light, and then leave the light, pop right in 4 on this time clock, and I'm done. And so whenever this time clock rolls into defrost and it closes that contact between 4 and 2, it's going to connect to that and go ahead and pass it through to neutral and let that energize. And so that one's going to be used to break neutral. Like I said, I'm going to put all my refrigeration stuff out here off of 5. So condensing unit, whatever you're bringing on, is going to be out here. And then this could be my defrost heaters right here. Let's wire it up. Be right back.